essentially the purpose of the man is to provide, period.
And I don't disagree that the purpose of the man is to provide. I agree with that. But I really think women use that only when it's convenient for them.
Sunday wind down, Ida with the voice on the speaker, Sunny on the mic and it's all round. Conversations are bigger, so fill my cup, fill my cup. I'm already tuned in all the way up, all the way up. Can't stop listening now.
Hey, welcome to the Sunday Wind Down podcast. I'm your girl, Ida Alicia.
And I'm DJ Sunny Sistuki.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and utilize the comment section. We love to hear from you. Go ahead and follow us. We are on TikTok before they ban it. Go ahead and subscribe and just follow us. You know it's being banned. TikTok is being banned.
Yeah, we talked about this before, but
Yeah.
now I understand there are certain states that have already banned it.
Imagine waking up trying to log into your TikTok and it says account not found or error. Imagine. That's wild.
You know what it reminds me of? When I was visiting Dubai, you can't video call in Dubai.
Why not?
Because some Arabian country was overthrown by live streaming something or video call or something. So you can't video call anyone from Dubai.
That is something.
And if you want to do it, you have to use a VPN.
But isn't that illegal?
It's illegal, and if you're caught, the fine is pretty hefty. But that's how people video call from Dubai.
Okay. So, but like, it's, you like, why risk? You know?
True. So maybe now it's the same thing with TikTok in these states, huh? If you can use a VPN, but then if you're caught, there might be a fine because you're breaking the law.
Yeah, but I don't think they have yet criminalized it.
Okay.
They're just slowly banning it, but we'll see. Who knows? Speaking of social media and these things, you know what? Something else I saw on TikTok and Instagram that was trending is this man, Hakimi. Have you heard about that story? The footballer.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Everyone has heard about it.
That man has done a thing.
Hey.
So if you've not heard the story, I'll just go ahead and make a quick overview. Sindo. Now, this man was married to his wife, who is also an actor, by the way. She's famously known. And now they were divorcing. So, of course, like in settlement, you'll come and try to we're divorcing. What do we share?
Yeah.
How do we break property? And the wife was pigwad by Butwa. Butwa. Like, this man had zero money, zero assets. Everything that he has earned or acquired over time in his football career and up to today has been in his mother's name.
Yeah.
That's wild.
What's crazy about this is everywhere I'm seeing this story, it's all mostly like social media outlets.
Right.
I'm not seeing it in any official outlets like news or like... Normally, news channels, they're on top of a story like that.
Right, but maybe in their country they showed it more than here. Maybe we missed it.
Maybe.
But social media is actually even more, I don't know, it's faster. It reaches a lot of people, I feel like.
Yeah,
more
and
than
also
sitting and watching news.
Also, I think then the accuracy of it can be questioned. Now he's become an icon amongst men.
Is he an icon? I feel like honestly, he's doing that woman wrong.
Yeah?
I honestly, truly feel that way. And I say this because they met when they're, I think, 19, if I'm not mistaken.
He was 19.
He was 19.
I don't know how old she was. Yeah.
But she's like, give or take, let's even call them the same age.
Older. If I'm not, but I think she's older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, right? So 19. How old is he now? Whatever. He's been playing football for God knows how long. Of course, he's acquired a ton of assets with her by his side, and they have kids together. The reason as to why I think it's a little unfair is you have built this wealth with me in the picture. Like, if there was no prenup, because there was no prenup because you didn't have anything. So it says that we have built this wealth together. So I feel like it's a little unfair for the lady for her to just be told, okay, go, bye-bye, and you have kids. And now she's even having to pay because legally she's the one with the money. But she's having to pay, Sunny, for court, like all this fines and all the things.
And maybe even pay half of whatever she has because what she has is in her name.
That's crazy, guy. Hey.
But this is making such a big wave, and it seems like if the script was reversed, then it would just be another woman has taken the man's money. But now the man is taking the woman's money, and it seems to make a whole big deal.
But let me go back to a very old-fashioned way of thinking. And you might not be religious. I was born and raised a Christian, so I know this much. If you believe in the Bible, and they are religious because I think they're Muslims, and I believe their religion also has the same principle as what I'm about to say, which the Bible says for a woman, all you need to do is respect your husband. And for the man, provide. and I'm saying this principle is the man is known to provide, unless, and like I said, if you have a lot of property and you're thinking, I'm just here for the property, let's do a prenup. But for that, for the reason as to why you're there together as a couple is because, you're taking care of the house, the man is supposed to be providing.
Yeah, but I feel like in today's world, that narrative is taken into consideration when it is working in the benefit of the woman.
Yeah, well, scream louder. Even people will listen to you. As we've been screaming for so many years for equality, sometimes.
Yeah, but then other times it's all about equality.
Yeah.
But then when something like this happens, all of a sudden it's about, but back in the day, the man's job was to provide. And
but the man's job has never changed.
It has not changed.
It's just men became lazy.
No. You see, here we have a whole gender war podcast that we can go back to, but that's not what we're talking about today.
No, but for the purpose of this discussion. Yeah. Men are supposed to... You as a man, that's what you're supposed to do.
But there's so many women today who say, I don't need a man to provide for me.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. We truly don't need one to provide. We can provide for ourselves.
Want the man to provide.
We provide for ourselves. But if we're to come together and we create a family, it's on you to provide. Does that make sense? I can provide for myself. And it's a good balance when women can provide a little bit. Two salaries are better than one, honestly.
So what would happen in a situation where the woman is providing and the man is not? Is that considered something that would be...
It's not. See, that's dynamic. Different households, different rules. But if we're walking by just the overall umbrella rule, it will be the man who's supposed to provide. You know what I'm saying? So it can't be when the role is reversed, then why is the woman not... No, because essentially the purpose of the man is to provide, period.
And I don't disagree that the purpose of the man is to provide. I agree with that. But I really think women use that only when it's convenient for them.
Now, I would like to know how it's convenient at this... it's convenient because this woman has your babies. She's going to go away with your babies. How's that? They're supposed to eat. You can provide for the kids even now. No food, no school fees because you're quote-unquote broke. So now she's having to work twice as hard. We've been working together all these years. Now she's having to work twice as hard to come...
But in their case, she's worth... some
$3 million, I think. Yeah.
Some $1 million. I don't know the exact number, but she's worth some $1 million. So it's not like anyone is gonna suffer.
No, but still, the essence remains.
But in general, for them, they have the money, whatever. But in a general situation, if the man says, I'm providing and therefore XYZ, no, I'm independent. I can do whatever I want to do.
What is therefore XYZ? Me, I want to know. When people have these gender wars, me, I keep quiet because I don't share the same values. People be saying, I can't make that man a sandwich. I'm like, find me in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We have different views.
I'm not saying all women, or I'm not pointing fingers, but in general, today's generation, there's a lot of using these narratives when they're convenient.
And it's okay.
I don't think it's okay. If you're going to use a narrative, stick to it, whether it benefits you or doesn't benefit you, if you believe so strongly in something.
But okay, I get that. And that's honestly true. That should be just the rule of life, truly. But it doesn't work that way. And I guess justifying your point too, but it's case to case. You just give an example. You said if the dad is sitting at home and he's a stay-at-home dad, isn't the woman supposed to provide? Yes. There's dynamics. There's different dynamics. But the rule of thumb is the man's supposed to... we're not saying there's no exceptions. And we're not saying it's... In this case, it's not working against this woman, but that's why we're saying this man needs to provide. You know what I'm saying? It's just divorce, and it's very, very unfair. It's truly, truly unfair. I mean, I don't know what happened. And some people would justify and say maybe cheating is one of those things where you're not going to even get a dime because you cheat, And I get that. Nothing against that. But on this one, man, for you to have such a reputation and so much money, why would you do this? You've loved this person. You've loved this person at some point in your life.
To have kids with them, to do...
Yeah, so, why would you want to do this to anyone?
And I agree in that aspect that if you've been with someone and you've acquired wealth while together with that person, both ways, then the man is obligated to do something if they decide to move away.
Yeah.
And the same way, if the woman has acquired wealth while they were together, which is also the case, then it should work both ways.
Yeah.
And it may end up being that they find that there's a mutual benefit. The woman is doing well by herself, the man is doing well by himself. No one needs to do anything for the other. And at that point, if anyone is, depending on who has custody, if anyone is doing for the kids this, then they can share what happens for the kids.
That's absolutely right.
But not doing for each other.
Yep.
So in that sense, I agree with you that there's maybe We don't know the whole story exactly, but there may be some aspects of unfairness there.
Right.
However, the man has he's become so popular because he's
Right.
done something that most people don't think of. Like
Somebody
he's
said-
strategized very interestingly.
Somebody said he's lucky he's not African.
Yeah.
You know how you give your mom money at Imam Nishikie Nieke? He'll come back and say, oh, okay, so now you want me to pay you for giving birth. The money you gave me, I used it.
Yeah.
I used it for charm. African women
And
fear
I
our
also feel
moms.
like everything I've seen on social media, the two sides supporting or against what has happened here,
Yeah.
mothers with girls are like, he's doing wrong. And then mothers with boys are like,
like, well,
kudos to him, good job. So
There's mixed reactions.
There's mixed reactions
Let me ask
to
you
it.
this real quick. We're just going to briefly touch on it. How do you feel about prenups?
I think they're a good idea.
Yeah?
Yeah. I honestly think prenups are not bad. It really depends. Depends.
It depends on it.
My Kalenjin is
You're
coming
from
out.
Eldoret,
I'm
it
from
depends.
Eldoret.
Yeah.
It really depends on the dynamic between the two people.
Okay.
For example, a 50-year-old man marrying a 20-year-old woman, or vice versa, a 50-year-old woman marrying a 20-year-old man, I think there needs to be a prenup.
For why? Because just of the age difference.
Age difference, because this man has, if he's 50, then let's say from the time he was 25, he's got 25 years of things he's done by himself.
What if this 20-year-old was a child star and has millions in their account?
But that's not usually the case.
Well, but special cases. I'm just thinking,
okay,
yeah?
in that case, yeah, but in a regular
So
case,
what you're saying is, if we're not equally yoked, if we're imbalanced financially,
Yes.
we should get
get a
prenups.
prenup, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
But if we are balanced financially, then whatever we do from here on, we are growing together. And if we decide one of us is taking a step back to raise the kids and the other one is continuing, then that is a mutual agreement.
Right.
And therefore, we should eventually share what we do financially. However, in the case of someone having a head start or things like that, I don't think. And also think there should be a statute
Yeah.
of time. Where you get married, if you get divorced a year later, you're not getting 50%.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like yes,
Yeah.
in that approach for sure. I'm
Yeah.
100% with you. But like the prenup approach for me, I feel like, and this may change, and I get it. If I had more money and I'm walking into this relationship and you only have X amount of dollars and I'm a millionaire doing this, I probably would feel like, yeah, I need a prenup just because. But I feel like prenups also make for like, do I not trust you? Like, it brings a question of Allah. Why you hide? Like, why are you putting away your money?
Yeah.
Are you
why
just
have the relationship in the first place?
It's like, why are we in this? Like,
Yeah.
when you're thinking I'm here, so it's a little,
Yeah.
But like you said, special cases, of course, the law is involved and all these things. And hopefully they find a fair, what's the word? I don't know, fair, but I don't know,
And
something
like
fair.
you said, like, why even need a prenup? I saw a meme that made me laugh. That you can walk past someone and pretend you don't even know each other. And maybe 2 months ago, you are to the point of having kids,
Hey,
you are in
yo.
bed with each other. Like, people get in
That is a
relationships
good
and then
one.
hate each other.
So
and at some
badly.
point, like, they were so madly in love
Yeah.
and they were like exchanging fluids and things like that.
Ew,
So,
you say fluids and it's disgusting. But I know what you're saying. It's so true. It's like, by the way, it's
so-
crazy that the way love is, as strong as we feel it, we cannot feel it
Just
at
as strongly.
all. Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
but I don't think I hate any of my
speak
exes
English.
like that. Like,
No, hate is a strong word.
but some of these people
Some people,
hate.
yeah. Some of us, there's one.
That you hate.
Honestly,
Yeah.
But there is, there's some that you totally hate. But I feel like you hate because of the reason why you break up. After a season of time, you grow out of that reason. You know how we talked about, and if you haven't watched the last podcast, go ahead and watch it. We talked about letting go of past traumas and past pain and whatever. I feel like after a season of time, after so long, you will stop feeling the pain so strongly. And that person just becomes another person. It's just like a stranger in Walmart. You have no feelings towards them.
Yeah.
And I speak for myself when I say that. Yeah, it's not necessarily hate. It's just like, I have zero feelings towards you. It's like a suitcase. Zero feelings towards it. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate it. I don't like it. It's just there.
Now, this case, having been in court, reminded me of something else that has happened in court recently. Fox News, which is primarily Republican reporting news channel in the US, has been sued for publishing wrong election
Oh,
results.
yeah. Oh, I remember that season, man.
Yeah, so when,
Fox
you know,
just had the
when-
wildest news.
Yeah, when elections are going on and the count for the votes is happening,
Right.
all the news channels are reporting where everything stands.
Correct.
And Fox was always leaning more towards Trump, and all the other news channels were reporting Biden lead.
Yeah.
And a thorough audit into that has found that they were providing misleading information.
Oh my God.
And they're settling for, I believe, 787 million US dollars.
That's a lot of money. So that's I have so many questions. So like, who is paying this money? Where does it go? How do you go about the lawsuit? Because I would like to know. Because another thing that happens a lot, which I've seen on social media, is people just saying nonsense about people, not knowing you could be slapped by a lawsuit.
Yeah.
I'd like to know more about that. Where is Pablo Zenko when we need him?
Yeah, well,
Wakili.
maybe we'll get more information about that from him. But I have never been to or against Fox News.
Right.
I listen to conservative radio and I listen to liberal radio as well. And I wouldn't say I'd call it liberal radio, regular radio.
Yeah.
Right? And then the conservative talk shows that happen on radio.
Right.
And like when you listen to other radio, regular radio, if you listen to NPR or anything like that, it's just a very matter-of-fact conversation. This is what's happening. People are being interviewed.
And if they don't have stats, they just say, we're waiting on information.
Yeah, it's very matter-of-fact.
Right.
The demeanor is calm. It's usual. And when I listen to conservative radio, it seems like it's such an aggressive stance to they have.
Yeah.
Like even the way they talk. And this person, he decided he is going to. Like it's
so what you're saying is, Asimio, it's the same.
For the most part, like I've probably mentioned before, I almost identify as a Republican. But over the last few years, it's becoming more and more difficult for me to identify as a Republican. And I only identified as that only because of some values, like don't overspend and, teach your kids, there are just certain things that I identify with. But now it just seems like all the Republican radio does is point fingers and
there's got to be that, Sunny, for the balance. It's politics. There's got to be one side that, is more calm and more... thoughtful in their ways of thinking, if that's even a word, though. But there's people who act out of emotions. Do you remember when we spoke about emotions and logic? There's that.
Yeah.
So they act out of emotion more than they do logic, and they're feeling, well, they're telling us he's not winning, but we know he's winning. It's what you feel.
Yeah.
So it might not be true, and that's what they're doing. And that's why they have this defamation case.
Hey.
Isn't that crazy?
787 million.
787 million.
That's hitting $1 billion pretty soon. And remember, when he's saying like a million doesn't seem like a big number. $1 billion is a big number.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing that.
In fact, we said even 10 million is a big. Imagine hundreds of millions.
Hey.
That's wild. For whoever has to pay that, we're sorry.
I know.
Yo, but let me tell you another thing that makes me so... I don't know, we talked about the law in America and it brought me to the gun laws and... all that has been happening very, lately. Like we've had on the news, there's a school shooting in America. All the time, like every other day or every week. There's something. And like this gun, Sunny, we talked about how you could walk into, a store and just purchase a rifle.
Yeah.
You don't need...
And walk into Walmart.
And nobody's going to say, are you mentally stable? Nobody asks for any record of that or any proof of that. I doubt even if they ask for your driver's license, it's just a purchase like any other for a rifle.
I think they do. And then like the worst part is the gun and the knife shows. When you go to a gun show, there was a guy who had done a thing, and this clip circulated on the internet a few years back, where he was under 18 and he was a kid. And he tried to go buy alcohol and cigarettes, and obviously everywhere he went, he was carded and he couldn't buy it.
Right.
And then he went to a gun show and he was able to buy 6-7 rifles, guns, everything, and just walk out with them. No, nothing was checked, no ID.
That's what I'm saying. Without them checking, validating any kind of information, we could be selling the gun to the devil for all we know.
And that is part of the reason why I think all this gun violence happens. Now, again, there's part of the people who are pro having the guns are all about saying, oh, then just arm everybody. Like if if a bad person has a gun, then the good person has a gun, then just gunfight and
But do you not see how that would make sense, Indio? That would totally make sense. If you don't care this much, then give everybody guns.
Yeah, but that's what they're almost talking about is, but everybody can get a gun.
Yeah,
so
well, technically, yeah.
So I'm not anti-guns. I have a gun.
Yo, remove me from this household. No, I know.
Right? So I'm not anti-guns. In fact, we've gone to the gun range.
Yo, don't tell my business like this after I just act surprised. Yeah, but we have. It's not a bad thing to have.
Yeah.
And I think me personally, what I feel is if people would take classes, if people were vetted differently,
I think to own one, you had to go through a process.
Yeah, no, for you, like background check. I get that, but like you dig deeper into your record.
Exactly. I think everyone that is going to have a gun, it should be a deeper process.
Let me take that back, Sunny, because you know what? Some people don't have a record until they get a gun and they flip. And you remember there's a clip circulating around of this lady who called the police and said, "My son."
Oh yes,
it
was the Louisville shooting.
The mom called the police and said,
"Who shot at the bank?"
Yes.
Yeah.
And said, "My son has a gun and he's intending to come and shoot." And his friend told me, And so his roommate told me, and the mom said, "He's not a bad kid.
Yeah.
He's never had this kind of thoughts before," and which is actually true. You'll check records and see it's just a regular person, has never had any mental health issues. Never fought, never even been into like a fist fight. And then one day they just boop and they turn a new leaf and now they're shooting up, But by the time the mom made the call, it was too late.
It was too late,
yeah. He was already there.
I think the thing that I'm not a big fan of when it comes to guns is the pushing of having guns only because it's benefiting the NRA or if a financial benefit towards a certain party. But
does it do that?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah, so the NRA, the National Rifle Association, they lobby a lot of politicians because a lot of gun sales and all that benefits them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the big boys.
Yeah.
So they're only covering their dollar.
The other thing about guns to me is like every state has a different law. So some states might require you to get a permit to get a handgun.
Right.
Some states don't require you to get a permit. Like in Texas, you can just walk in and get a handgun, no permit required. In fact, in North Carolina, you no longer need a permit.
Yeah. Oh, yo, are you serious?
It just happened like a month or two ago.
You no longer need a permit to own one?
Yeah, but
you need concealed carry?
For concealed carry, yes.
You still need one?
Yes, but what they're going to do is they need to do an FBI background check before they can sell you a handgun at any store that sells handguns. But again, at the gun and knife shows, they don't do that. You just buy, yeah.
That's wild.
So every state has different rules. So if your state has tighter rules, you can always just drive to another state.
Oh yeah, that's true. And buy there,
and then
bring it back to yours.
So it's not really very restrictive.
Wow.
The laws do prevent people from getting easy access sometimes, depending on the state. Like my experience, when I applied for my permit, but when I got my gun, I had to have a permit.
Yeah.
So when I applied for the permit, I went to the courthouse. First, they did the background check and everything. Then they tell me, okay, you're approved. You need to go to the courthouse. And I go to the courthouse, they take my fingerprints.
Okay.
And they give me a permit. When I go to the shop to buy the gun, I give them the permit. They keep it.
Oh, they keep the permit.
Because that permit only allows me to buy one handgun. If I want to buy another one, I have to
you have to go back for the entire process?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
But I'm already in the system with the background check. So the second time round, it might be a quicker process.
Maybe just fingerprints again.
Because the first time it took like 8 to 9 weeks.
Okay, yeah, that's a while.
Now, when they take that permit and they have to write everything, they write the serial number of the gun, then the permit number, the person's ID number. They fill out all this information before they can sell you a gun. But now permits are no longer required, so they just have to do that with the background check.
Wow.
It's a FBI background check in North Carolina.
In North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. And you know how they usually they'll find, and I guess this is just police guns a lot of the times, they will find a bullet and can tie it back to the gun.
Yeah.
Do you know how that happens?
So it's about how the hammer hits the bullet. So when you shoot, something hits the bullet and the bullet takes off.
They would just know the type of the gun that shot it, would not know the serial number, would not know, would they?
No, so if they have another bullet shot from this serial number, they can closely say that this other bullet was also shot from this, because every gun hits the bullet at a very specific way.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but
I've always wondered about that, because they will find one and they'll say this is from da-da-da gun.
Yeah, no, well, because every bullet has a caliber. It's either a 9mm or something. So they'll say, oh, it's a 9mm. So that means it was probably shot from one of these guns.
Okay.
It was shot from a gun that shoots 9mm.
Right. Okay. Well, there's still not a way to narrow down. I was hoping that, there could be a science where you can narrow down where it's, you know what I'm saying? So we could trickle back to who is this person, where did they get this gun? But even with all that said, you hear about the 6-year-old who shot his teacher. There's the other one who shot his mom.
Sibling, another one shot himself.
If you have a gun, imagine if you have a gun in your house, how you leave an armed gun. That's the correct English, but I mean a gun that is armed.
Yeah.
And then you leave it so carelessly in your house, where all the kid needs to do is pull the trigger. That's wild. And I feel
I think some people are so paranoid and they're so gung-ho on this right to have a gun. I don't know, maybe it's where you live. Maybe it's a dangerous area. I don't know. But they feel like they have to have the gun armed and cocked and in the bedside drawer, so that when they need it, it's easily accessible and you shoot.
I get that.
Having your gun that easily able to just shoot a shot, and having young kids in the house, or even not having it in a secure location where it's locked, that's not a good idea. So I would say, if you have a gun, have a safe. Maybe even don't have the magazine in it. And things like that, just to be safe.
I know, Sunny, and that reminds me real briefly of this story that is now circulating all over social media, of this man that shot this young boy who had just rang his doorbell. He was supposed to go to a different street, but the house number was the same, just the street's name, they were different.
It was 115th Terrace and 115th Street.
Yeah, 115th. So he went to, I think, Terrace.
He went to Street instead of Terrace.
Okay, wherever he went, it was the same same number, just different name of,
Yeah.
And so he thought he was going to pick up his sibling, rang the bell, and was shot on his head.
Yep, twice.
Yeah, one on his head. I think one on his shoulder. I'm not quite sure about the second one, but who do you just wait for people? He was a young black man.
Yeah.
And this being said, the man who shot him was an older white man. I wonder if he just felt threatened by this abled young man. But he's a teenager.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand the science where you see somebody at the door and your immediate reaction is to pull out your gun and shoot. Do you just shoot your, what do you call him, a mailman? Or is it because he's wearing uniform? Or DoorDash? They don't have uniforms. You just shoot everybody who comes to your door.
Doorbell, do you just shoot them? What?
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it brings the question, do you just shoot him because he was a black man?
What are the reason?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You did not even have a conversation with this young man, you just shot.
But in America, even today, and I don't know if it's just America or if it's even everywhere else, but in general, people are threatened by a black male.
And let me put it to support that point. Some lady said this. When you have a son, when they're 2 years old, they're so cute. You walk down the supermarket with them, everybody, white, black, purple, yellow, they say, oh my God, he's such a sweet boy. He's so handsome. He gets to 6 years old. He's now running, he's talking, he's picking stuff from the aisle. Walk past people, be like, oh my God, he's so cute. When does that young boy from being cute goes to being scary? At what point does that change America?
It's because what happens is they have pictured in their mind what a threat looks like.
And it looks like a black man.
And it looks like a black man. So a white man in a hoodie and a black man in a hoodie.
Yeah. Totally different views.
Two different views.
Kabisa?
Yep. Dreads. And I don't know what it is. They just suddenly feel like this are threatening qualities.
It's crazy.
They're just cultural qualities, but they're considered threatening qualities. And there are still people that are very threatened by people of color.
Right. Black people, yeah. Have you ever Googled professional hairstyles for men? and then you Google unprofessional hairstyles for men.
I've never done that.
I'll let you guys do that. Like, if you've never Googled that, Google that. Professional hairstyles for men. Just see the pictures that come up and then go and Google unprofessional hairstyles for men. Go see what comes up.
Wow.
It is insane. It's the 21st century. Yet we still have that big divide, that big rift between white and black. As much as we pretend that it's not there, it is there.
Did I tell you about what happened to me in Diani?
Yo, what part? The where I was involved or not?
No, you were not involved.
Okay, cool. Tell me about the other one, because the other one is still angers me. Tell me about what happened to you in Diani.
I was at the beach mid-morning, just me and my daughter. I'm feeding her at a restaurant, and a teenage girl comes over and asks me if I've seen her earrings.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I'm sorry, I haven't seen them. She's like, I was sitting at this table before, and I think I left them on this table. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't see your earrings. However, if I do, I'll be more than happy to give them to the staff or something.
Right.
Then a boy, slightly older.
What are we talking about? Age-wise, just give a bracket here.
So
we
the
can have
girl was
mental
a
picture.
teenager, I think maybe 14, 15.
Okay.
The boy might have been like 18-ish.
Okay, so a little older than the
Yeah,
girl.
just a little older than the girl. Came across to me as the older brother.
Oh, okay.
Came and said, hey, my sister left earrings at this table. Have you seen them? I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Then the father came over.
Yo,
Older white
how
man.
expensive are these earrings?
I know. And asked me the same question. But now the boy and the girl asked me and asked the staff, the waitresses, everyone there, even asked the security guard that was standing there. The father came to me and asked me if I had seen his daughter's earrings. And I'm feeding my daughter. And I tell him, I'm sorry, I haven't seen them. In fact, your daughter and your son just came and asked about them.
Yeah.
But if I do see them, actually what I'll do is I'll take them to the front desk.
Yeah.
So maybe later on, check with the front desk because someone else might do the same.
Right.
And he proceeds to tell me, do me a favor, just don't sell them.
What?
Yes.
How did you react?
I ignored him and continued feeding my daughter.
When I tell you you're a better human than I am. Because we would have a problem. Diani, we have a problem. Wait, what do you mean don't sell them?
Yeah.
Like, why? So what?
I don't know what
gave
it
you
is
that
about
idea?
seeing me that made him feel like...
And you're saying this is an older white man.
Yeah. Then, shortly after, a lady who was serving people drinks on the beach came by, because we're at a restaurant, and asked, what's going on? Like, why are these people? What are they asking for? So the other waitress tells her, oh, the daughter lost some earrings at that table, so they are all looking for them.
Okay.
She says, oh, yeah, they were on the table. Actually, I put them on the side over here for when they come looking for them. And she got them from the bar, back behind the bar, and said, here are your earrings.
Did this man apologize to you?
No. Didn't even acknowledge. Yeah.
Father, I pray that you don't put me in this kind of situations because we'll have a bigger problem. We'll be like, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
Of all the people sitting here, you walk up to me and tell me if you find them, don't sell them.
But, at the end of the day...
Wait, Sunny, I am in the same resort as you are.
Yeah.
We're paying the same amount of money. If I don't have a better room, I'm not paying more than you.
Yeah.
Like, excuse you. You think I came to Diani to look for earrings so I can go sell to
them.
get rich?
But at the end of the day, he is the ignorant one, not me.
No, I know that. But he would have had something. I would teach him some stuff, with your ignorant self.
I just let his ignorant self be.
That's
and I
crazy.
didn't let it affect my peace.
I'm so glad you wasn't there.
Yeah, and I was with my daughter. It was just me and her, and I didn't want to act out. And
yeah. And then you have the baby.
I was having such a beautiful moment with the baby, and I was we're by the beach.
Nice.
I'm feeding her. I'm waiting for my meal, and I was in such a peaceful moment. I didn't want to ruin that.
It's like the same thing you talked about in a few podcasts. Go watch it. He said, you decide what happens. You could miss the room that you really wanted. You could have an entirely bad vacation. Or just do with what you have and make the best time. And you chose to make the best time. Again, you're a better human than I am. Maybe when I get to your age. Because what? Me, I'm still feisty, Sunny.
I know you are.
Yo, why? That statement was so unsolicited. It's so... You know what I'm saying? Why would you tell me that?
It made no sense.
So yeah, go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We are everywhere, really. Just look at us Sunday.
As long as we're around.
As long as we're around.
Yeah.
Yo, before we go. Our TikTok is fire, by the way.
Yep.
We'll be dropping jams out there. So yeah, don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms. My name is Ida_Alicia.
Yep. And follow me at Sistuki. And I will tell you, I appreciate everyone that's listening on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Do take some time and actually see the video on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
We have some facial expressions from
I feel like, we relate more eh? Like when you're seeing us talk, you really can feel it. You know, sometimes you
Yeah.
hear it,
Yep.
which is great. I feel like we both have very nice voices. But like if you see us, it makes more sense.
It makes more sense.
You know, and like we're African, we talk with our hands a lot. So the gestures is just mad here.
And in case you haven't noticed, we now stand.
We now stand.
Yeah, we used to sit down.
Do we tell you why we started standing? I had a pinched nerve on my back. Couldn't sit down for
Yep.
days. So we started standing and it works for us.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, we're only here for a few minutes. We might as well give you a standing ovation.
Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, catch us on Sunday Wind Down every Sunday.
Yes. We'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
I'm